presents School is Now in Session.
Homeschooled podcast. Homeschool.
The Homeschooled podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that at all. Welcome back to Homeschooled Podcast. I'm the host of the Homeschooled Podcast, Augustino Zoida. Thank you so much for tuning in. My co-host Kevin Lyons is not here, but he's here in spirit because he edits all these, so he will eventually hear this. But you know, we try to not have so many people together, try to do the social distancing. Kevin and I do podcasts together sometimes. I usually go over to his house, we're secluded, but there's no need for him to come all the way over here, because I'm just having guests call in. So when I have a guest, we're keeping it safe, you guys. I'm having my guests call in, so no need for Kevin to come over here when we're just having guests call in. My guest today is Afion Crockett. Afion's been on about a year ago, and it will be great to have him back on. Afion's a stand-up comedian, a friend of mine, and he's also an actor. His IMDb page is crazy. I mean, you guys probably know him from a bunch of stuff. He has a show called In the Flow with Afion Crockett. He was in The Haunted House. He was in Dance Flick, Haunted House 2, The Wedding Ringer, 50 Shades of Black, Soul Man. I mean, it goes on. And he's also a professional hip hop dancer, and he was often in a lot of movies because of that. We talked about that the last time that he was on, so it'll be interesting to connect with him again and see what's going on. Before we give him a call, I want to let you guys know this episode is brought to you by DIY Paint, which is, just for those of you that don't know, DIY stands for do-it-yourself. DIY Paint. Listen, you guys, it's awesome, and it's a great way to pass the time while you're stuck in your house with your kids or your family member or your wife or your husband or whatever, all right, you guys? It's something fun to do, all right? I know you've already played Uno so many times, all right? You already watched it so many movies. You need a break. You need to do something together, something fun, and then how about something that you can have as an accomplishment when you're done? So what I like about DIY Paint is that you've heard of the Paint by Colors, and that's what they do. But they have these awesome portraits that you can do by yourself. You can do it with somebody else. It's a great time passer. It relieves stress to sit there and paint something and be focused on something else, and it keeps you busy. And the best part is that when this is all said and done, you're going to have a really cool art piece that you can hang in your house or in your office that you did yourself. And so head on over to DIY Paint. You're going to want to click the link in the description. It'll take you right there, and check it out, you guys. There's all kinds of promotions. I believe right when you click the link in the description, you get 10% off. But just go check it out. It's not expensive anyway. You pick the portrait that you want, and they send you the paint. I mean, they send you the picture, the paint, everything you need. So just click the link in the description. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great time passer. And at the end, you're going to have something that you can look at and go like, I did that. And it looks great, and it looks cool in my house, and you're always going to remember this historic time that we're going through of being stuck at home. Also, speaking of stuck at home, this episode is also brought to you by Masterclass, one of our favorites here at the Homeschool Podcast. I absolutely love that they are our sponsors. I'm so proud of it because I love their product. I love what they do. I love the classes that they have, and I love what it's all about is bringing classes to people who want to learn, people that want to broaden their horizon, people that want to extend their education in a subject or a craft. And it was invented for people that don't have like the budget to go out and take a class, and the time, people that have day jobs and kids to raise. And now it's really coming in handy while you're stuck in home. It's the perfect time to learn something new or better yourself at the craft that you're passionate about, because they have just about everything. If you've always wanted to learn to play the guitar, listen, they got the basics on there. All right. If you want to broaden your cooking class, you got it right there on you got it right there. There's several different, including Gordon Ramsay has like 2 different chapters on there, classes on there, or baking classes, comedy, writing, acting, directing, filmmaking, performing arts, poetry. Whatever you want to do, they have almost everything on there, and they're always adding to it. So just check it out. And right now they have an amazing promotion which is buy a year, gift a year. So what you're going to do is you subscribe for an entire year. You pay for the subscription up front. It ends up coming out to $15 a month, but you pay it up front. For 1 year, you have access to the entire site, so you can take multiple classes on your own schedule. And then when you do that right now only, you can gift. So when you buy a subscription, you're going to be able to gift a second subscription to someone that you know. So this is going to be great for yourself and someone that you know who is also struggling at home. This will be a great time passer as well. So head on over to the link in the description. It'll take you right to Masterclass, right where you need for that buy one, gift one. And without further ado, we're going to call over to Afion Crockett. Actually, I'm lying to you. Don't forget, real quick, while you're browsing around online, go to homeschoolpod.com. I'll put the link as the last link in the description, homeschoolpod.com, and that's where you can get your merch to support the Homeschool Podcast, which is the best way to support this podcast, is just picking up a t-shirt or something. Not only do you put a couple of bucks in our pockets, but you're also, we're getting our name out there. You're giving us some promotion, rocking a cool t-shirt. So we've got the Homeschooled ex-president's logo that's out for a limited time. It's going to be taken down when we hit episode 300. You won't be able to get it anymore. And then I also have the cover of my new album, which will be out soon. It's called The Bad Guy, my comedy album. And the cover of it you can get as a sticker or a mug or a blanket. And then our Homeschool t-shirts and sweatshirts, hoodies, all that stuff is on there. All right, you guys. So now we got all the business out of the way. You got iDIY Paint. Link is in the description. We have Masterclass. Link in the description. And we have Homeschool Pod. Link in the description. And thank you so much. I know you got a lot of options for podcasts. I appreciate you giving us a chance. And I'm excited for our guest. Let's call Afion Crockett.
Yo,
Afe, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. I'm pretty healthy.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, man. We got our health.
Hey, man, that's blessing number one.
Hell yeah. How are you? How's the family?
Everybody's good. My family, they're all on the East Coast, though.
Right. Yeah, I knew that, but I mean, that's where it's like most dangerous, right?
I don't know what to believe. Every day I hear another area is more dangerous than the other, and
that's exactly right, man. I don't know what to believe either. They tell us that oh man, the hospitals are crazy. They're running out of caskets, and then all of a sudden, they're like, man, the hospitals are empty. We're laying people off. It's like, man, which is it?
Right. I'm talking to one of my friends now who's a nurse. She's fine.
Yeah. Did she say it was slow?
Not necessarily slow, but just not as hectic as they make it sound.
I gotcha.
There's some busy, some activity, but not as life-threatening as they're making it seem.
It's crazy, man. By the way, I think it's been like about a year since you were on the podcast when I came over to your place and we recorded.
Right.
And I remember, we learned a lot about you, that you pretty much grew up on a military base.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I don't remember if your parents are both still around, right?
Yes.
And they're on the East Coast, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about that I remember that your dad was in the military and you grew up on a military base. I thought that was super interesting, and I was just thinking about you the other day, and I don't know why it popped in my head. I was just like, oh man, I hope his parents are doing okay.
Oh yeah, no, they're good, man.
All right, cool. How are you dealing with all this, man? I mean, I'm asking this question to almost every guest that I have on because everybody deals with it in different ways. But as a live performer, I mean, nothing is really filling that void for me.
Say that one more time.
I said, as a live performer, nothing is filling that void for me. I don't know about you. We can do like these online, Zoom shows.
There's no substitute for it, man. There's
mm-hmm.
no The one thing I get is literally Instagram Live. That's always a fun platform.
Yeah.
Because you can see the laughs. You can see the emoji.
Yeah.
Immediately as you're talking and just, riffing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a performance, of course, but there's nothing that's and I don't even want to imagine a world we can't go back to live audiences and the stage and,
I don't want to manage it. Yeah.
All this Zoom production and SNL trying to do their show from home. I applaud them on their efforts, but it's just not what I wouldn't want to go to that as a norm.
I'm 100% with you, dude. Like I'm not mad at anybody for trying. There's a lot of comics that are like, oh, we're doing these online shows, and it's like, I'm not mad at anybody for trying. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I want to partake in that. It's like, it's just not, I'm doing this thing right now where I'm doing once a week. It's not live. It's not a show. Once a week, I just turn the camera on and I work a premise to the camera, like a new joke idea.
Right.
And then, I've been having like comics on too, and I'll cut to them. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I edit it, and it's like it ends up being like 3 minutes, and I'm just putting that out. And there's like a little warning in it too that goes like, warning: there's no live audience, there's no laughter. You know what I mean? These are like work in progress. These jokes are not done yet. Because I think the thing that I miss the most is that when something pops into my head, like, oh, that might be a good idea for a bit. Is that I used to be able to, like, probably, like, that night, jump in my car and go somewhere, and I can get on stage and do it.
And try it out, yep.
I've been a comic for 11 years. I'm not the biggest comic by any means, but being a comic for 11 years, it's like, I can get on even the smallest stage. I can get up somewhere the night I think of something. It's a great privilege to have, and it's like, it was taken away.
And you manage the club, like you've been in the club, like you're cut from the comedian's cloth. You really know the world from behind the scenes, in front of the stage, on the stage. So I get it, man. Like it's definitely a void, and it's tough to pill to swallow. But again, I do not want to imagine a world where we don't go back to the stage. I'm willing to risk it all. I'm a pretty healthy guy, but I'm willing to risk going in front of people and, just taking my chances with keeping my immune system up.
Okay, so you're saying that if, like, tomorrow everything opens up and they go, hey, we need some comics, and some of these comics, they don't want to do it because they're scared to go out in public still, like, you're there. You're going to be like, hey, I'll do it.
No, I didn't say tomorrow. but there is a world that I want to go back to.
Yes.
I travel a lot. I make a lot of my living on the road and going to clubs and doing a full weekend and meet and greets and taking photos with people and signing T-shirts and, merchandise and all that kind of stuff. So there's no substitute for that.
Yeah.
For that energy. And that wave of laughter when you see people just bending over and hitting the table, and you know what I mean? It's just a different energy, man.
It's an energy that it can't be described. I mean, there's nothing like the live performance. I mean, it goes back as far as like I can think of. There's always been some form of like live performance, and it's not replaceable. And these specials are fun. Like you can watch stand-up specials, and it's like, yeah, these are fun, and it's exciting, especially when your favorite comic is like releasing one every couple of years. But it really doesn't compare to when you see them live. The live performance is. There's no comparison. I personally, I've always said that I think a stand-up special is the worst way to consume comedy. It still can be funny. I'm not saying there can't be excellent specials, because there are. But I think it's the worst way to consume stand-up. I think the best way is live, and the second best way is audio, like listening to an album or something.
See, I would challenge you on that.
Yeah?
Wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think?
I think what happened is we now have way too many stand-up specials, so they're not special anymore.
Well, for sure, yeah.
Back in the day when you just had Eddie Murphy doing Delirious, and then he's doing Raw. At the time, there's no other black comedians of his stature in the limelight anyway. And then, you know, later you have Damon Wayans doing his stand-up specials, and, you know, you have Bill Cosby. And it's something to see. I really enjoy that medium of seeing the stand-up specials where I can see the characters and I can see the bits come together and how they tie in, and it's like a one-man show. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it, because sometimes I've seen the opposite happen. When you see them live, they don't have the same energy. They don't have the same pizzazz. Because then you got to think about it. A stand-up special traditionally is like a heavyweight fight. People train for that shit. Like, they're in the lab, they're in the clubs, and they're really trying to get that shit together. You know what I mean? Like Chris Rock, he's got like 7, 8 classic specials.
Solid specials.
Solid, but he trains for that shit.
Right.
He goes around and he prepares.
I see what you're saying. So sometimes if you see someone live, it may not be, it might be them practicing for the special.
Yeah. And then the special is the bells and whistles. You got the lights, you got the camera, you got the angles, you got the spotlight.
Right.
It's just my personal preference. And again, I came from the era where there weren't as many specials. So by the time someone shot one, it was fucking phenomenal. You waited for that. You couldn't wait. And it didn't happen every year. It happened like once every 4 or 5 years. You know, it was actually something special.
I remember that too, when there were, it was something, it was actually special. It wasn't as often, it was rare, and, you know, it was extremely enjoyable. Yeah, totally, man. I mean, I was just having this conversation with someone recently, how some of these guys release specials like way too close together, and then a lot of guys get heat. Like, they get like, oh man, did you see so-and-so's new special? It sucked. Well, it's like, well, yeah, man. The guy signed a fucking 7-year contract with Netflix. He's got to release one a year. And when you sign those contracts, it's like you're almost kind of setting yourself up for failure. Like, of course, one of them's not going to be great. It takes like, you know, I think Burr was like 2 years between Paper Tiger and his last one.
Right.
I mean, normally it takes like 5 years to build a special.
Yeah, great stand-up specials or great stand-up comedians that have had specials, they only have like 2, maybe 3. Yeah. That's
right. I mean?
With the exception of Rock. I mean, Rock, I think, is just an exception to the rule. He's a beast. But
he's so brilliant.
There's a lot of specials out there.
What did you think of Chris Rock's newest one, Tambourine?
My only criticism of that was he wasn't himself.
You don't think so?
I felt like he kind of got more into the toned down version. You know, I think he borrowed a little bit of Louis' energy, a little bit of Chappelle's energy, where it's more like, I want to do this in an intimate space, and I'm just going to wear the T-shirt and the jeans. The material was still solid, but he didn't deliver it like he normally does. Like, he's normally a firecracker, and he's got the cadence like a preacher, and he's at full volume in his voice. This one, it was more Louis. It was more like just laid back and more. Yeah. And even dressed like Louis. He had the T-shirt on, the black tee.
He mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah, and I didn't enjoy the presentation as much, but I'm a big Chris Rock fan, so I the material still held up really well, and I was laughing my ass off. I still think it's a classic.
Yeah, I still like the material. I mean, I don't think it's really as good as his older stuff, but I mean, it was still great. I mean, he still got it. I think he's brilliant.
I mean, I think the only thing missing was him punching the delivery and the punchline. If he would have had that driving Chris Rock cadence and voice in this special, the material would have hit even harder.
Yeah, and you know what though? He got like super vulnerable in this one too. I wonder if there was there's some hesitation in his voice. Maybe he had to humble himself down a little bit, because he just straight up told the world, like, yeah, I cheated on my wife.
Right.
You know, but I absolutely love. See, man, that's what I love, dude. I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. I always have been, and I love watching specials Like when someone has a new special, I love going and like watching it right away and then talking about it with people. Like, you know, right now talking about it with you, it's just fun. I could just do this all day. It's such a cool art. It's such an amazing, beautiful art that we've been like fortunate enough to be a part of. And like you said, I don't want to imagine a world where it doesn't exist anymore.
Nah, not at all. I don't want to. I'll just keep the optimism.
I like tweeted out today. I put a tweet out and I was like, I think that stand-up comedy realized that I was never going to quit, so it quit.
That's hilarious. That's hysterical.
So, by the way, have you seen Louis' new one?
No, I didn't know you had a new one.
Yeah, he dropped one early April, and it's exclusively only on his website.
Oh, okay. How much is he charging for it?
Like $7.99.
Got you. And what's your thoughts? Have you seen it?
I have seen it, and I did not like it.
Why?
I didn't like it. I feel like it was a bunch of really good premises and an unfinished jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why he was in such a hurry to release that. That set wasn't finished like at all. And I think it bothered me mostly because of the hype, how everyone was saying like, man, Louis' comeback is crazy. Have you seen his special? Like, oh my God, that guy got even better. And I'm just like, when I saw it, I was like, there's not even one finished joke. It's probably his worst product he's ever released.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed.
I have to see it. I'm not gonna pay any money for it, but I'll catch it. I'll catch it some kind of way.
Yeah, I don't remember if I still have my login to his website when I bought it.
Right.
You know, that's what he did with Live at Beacon. He ended up, I think that's how he made like his first few millions with Live at Beacon. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna put this on my website exclusively, and I think he sold it for like $5. That was crazy, right?
I remember that. I need to figure out what his platform is, though, because I have a special that I've been shopping around, but I'm thinking it may be more advantageous to just release it myself.
Yeah. You know, I know a lot of comics use Vimeo. That's like one way to self-produce.
And self-distribute, right?
Yeah. This way you get like, you know, I think,
but
you know.
But his wasn't on Vimeo, right?
No, his was, his platform was literally, I mean, I couldn't even tell you because it literally just streams from his website. It's like the only way to watch it.
Right.
It's, man, it was, I was not impressed. I also think that a lot of people just like to talk and be like, oh man, the Louis comeback, you know?
Exactly. it's a story. It's something to talk about.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he did have like kind of a good like reference. He actually does reference, you know, the incident in it.
The Me Too thing, yeah.
Yeah, he does like talk about what he did for like a second, and it's probably the best part of the special. And I'm like, dude, you should have just opened with that. You know, like
right.
Just get it out of the way.
Well, Chappelle brilliantly had his back on Sticks and Stones.
Right.
Not that he condoned anything, but you know, when you hear it laid out the way Chappelle laid it out, it's like, I get it. Did he really do something that
Yeah. Funny? Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, totally. But I called this I called this a couple of years ago. I was like, guys, Louis C.K. ain't going anywhere. You know, he's gonna come back. You know, I mean, he's gonna do what he did with Live at Beacon. He's gonna release his own special. I'm just surprised it took him that long. I thought like maybe only 1 year would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though. You know, something like that happens. You can't predict what the outcome is going to be. And then when you said that he had a lot of unfinished premises,
right?
It's because when he started going back into the clubs trying to work out, remember he couldn't. They was booing him, and
that I remember that.
They made it a thing, so he didn't really have anywhere to work his shit out. I would assume.
I remember that. Yeah. Then after that, I remember that everybody was recording him. Like they would go to his shows, and I remember someone released the recording, I listened to like the first 20 minutes of that, and then it was like solid, dude. Like almost none of that made it to the special. Unfortunately, that person, blew it for him already.
Exactly.
And that's why I stopped listening to it, by the way. I was sitting there listening to it going like, oh, man, this is so good. And then I went and I stopped, and I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to stop listening to this. Like, why am I supporting this person who, released it too soon? And then, so I just turned it off. But I had heard that because I did like San Jose Improv like a couple weeks after he did it, and the management was telling me from then on, he was saying everyone has to turn in their cell phones before they enter the club. He was like not letting anybody in with a phone.
I get it.
So did you already record your special?
Oh yeah, it's locked and loaded.
When did you record it? How long ago?
End of July, early August last year.
Oh, okay. Where did you do it?
In LA, the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood.
Oh, nice, dude. I love that theater.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, it looks great. It's hilarious. I'm really proud of it. So, if
awesome.
we can't get any distribution for it traditionally, I have no problem selling it. I own it. I put my own money up for it.
Yeah.
So, I'm always about business.
Right, of course. Man, I remember before I was a comic, I went and saw someone tape their special at that theater, and it was Dov Davidoff. You remember him?
Oh, wow. I haven't heard anything in a while.
I know, right? Like, I remember when he was Comedy Central's boy. Like, that was that was their boy.
He was the guy.
He was their guy. Like, you could turn on Comedy Central, and there would be Dov Davidoff doing that one bit that I think that made him so famous. Like, I remember people that weren't really into comedy like I was as a kid, like even they had heard that bit, that one where he would say like gay guys always look like they smelled cookies, and he would do the face like a gay guy.
I don't
like
remember that, but that's hilarious.
And yeah, dude, he was like all over the place. I remember I got his comedy CD when it came out, and then when he was recording his special, he did it at the El Portal Theater right there in North Hollywood, and I went to go to that taping. I was front row. And
okay.
Brody Stevens opened for him. They were
Brody passed away, right?
Yeah, Brody passed away. Right. Yeah, same guy. And Brody was, I guess, doing a lot of warm up back then, so I guess he was doing the warm up for the specials taping for Comedy Central.
Got you.
So you recorded your special. I think that's so fortunate. Like, I've been thinking a lot lately. Like, I've never been like a lucky guy, you know what I mean? Like I've invested in some stock markets, and it's always at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Like I've never had like, like I wouldn't play the lottery. You know what I mean? Like I just don't have that kind of luck. And like lately I've been thinking to myself, like I'm almost in some way like winning the lottery or having the luck of like getting a stock at the right time, in the sense of I can't believe I had all this stuff prepared before the world like shut down.
Right.
I mean, normally, I know people that got pregnant right before the world shut down. And listen,
I mean, know a
few. Right? Like, listen, man, childbirth is a great thing. You're bringing a life into the world. I'm not trying to knock it. I personally am not ready for a kid, but I think to myself, like, that's almost like, buying stock before it crashes. You know what I mean? Like, what a horrible time to bring a child into this world. I feel bad for some of these people. I know people that opened businesses, and these people are like, successful people. They've had great luck. They have great success, and they've opened businesses. I know a few comedy club owners that opened multiple comedy clubs this year, and now they're just like closed, and I feel like really lucky that I'm not in that position. Like it's almost like I finally got my timing right, and maybe that's just because I never really did anything that big to begin with.
Nah, again, timing is everything. So whether you do something you deem as big or whatever, you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So whatever your big thing is or isn't or whatever, it's all coming to you. Whatever is yours, and like you said, the timing is your timing.
Yeah, maybe it's just my timing, man. I mean, I think you're right, or it also could be that I honestly have a new outlook on life as far as just like I feel like so lucky all the time. Like I look at how bad people have it and a lot of people are struggling, and I feel like pretty lucky, you know. I'm just really like counting my blessings. I mean,
yeah, man, you should.
I'm into a lot of conspiracy theory shit. I'm not gonna go into that right now, but I've been hearing so many different. Some people think this thing is a bioweapon to attack us. Some people think it's the pedophile celebrities that are hiding behind something, right? I don't know if you've heard any conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I've heard about that too. I've heard about all of them.
All of them. I just heard a new one recently that we actually have like a couple of asteroids that are headed for planet Earth, and they're going to take us out.
Hilarious.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like, listen, whatever you want to believe, the point is like tomorrow this could all be gone, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm still like fighting and working for when the world does open up. I'm going to hit the ground running rather than playing catch up, that's what I'm fighting for. So regardless, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So like, I'm just enjoying and working at the same time and being thankful for what I got.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. Wake up every day. Look around at your surroundings. Thankful that you're healthy. Thankful for your girl, your family, all of that, and just keep going. The whole world is paused, so no one's at an advantage right now.
Yeah, someone hit pause on the world.
Right.
And when they hit play, I just wanted to go back right where we left off, and but I think it's going to take some time. But you know what, man? Like podcasts help. Still coming up with joke premises help, and I think that you are very fortunate yourself that you had no idea this was going to happen, and by, I don't know, chance, luck, hard work, persistence, you went, I'm going to film a special this year. And you got to be like so lucky that you did it.
Can, because we don't know when a motherfucker's going to be able to shoot a special.
Yeah.
From here on out. We don't know.
I mean, when things open up, it still could be a few years before they get that many people in a room together.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, you're 100%, man. So I mean, I think that you got to be feeling like pretty thankful, man. You just, I don't know what it was. You just said, this is the year I'm going to film my special. You put up all the money for it yourself, and you did it.
Yeah, man.
I wish that I would have. I did record an album a couple of years ago, just audio only. And I'm so thankful that I did that because I never released it. I recorded it, and then I just was like, I don't really do that material anymore, and you know what? I'm releasing that now. So
got you.
Yeah,
and you have it. Yeah, you have it.
And exactly. I have it. Like it can't be taken away from me. It was something recorded in front of a live audience. Now I have a whole new hour, which I think is like obviously 10 times better. You're always improving, and I just my goal is to record that as soon as the world opens up, but I don't know how that's going to happen.
Right.
But for right now, I got that one older one.
Shit, as long as you got that, man.
Yeah.
At this point, look, it puts you at ground level with every other comedian in the world.
Yeah.
There's a few of us that have some product, and there's a few of us that don't. But you have something, and after that, you're on level playing field with everybody else.
Well, man, we're all going to come out of this a lot more leveled out than we were before, Yeah, there's going to be some shifting in the balance. I mean, some of these guys that are doing arenas are going to have to downgrade to like just going back to doing the comedy clubs.
Of course.
And they're going to get, and they're going to be knocking off a lot of, littler guys like myself that were headlining, smaller rooms. Like they're going to, they're going to knock us back a little bit. So, we're not going to go right back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have talked to a few comics that are bigger names and that were doing theaters, and they're going like, I'm not comfortable going right back out. They're like, I'm done for like a while, at least a year. They're like, I want to be safe. We're older.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, then again, you might have some comedy clubs going like, hey, these bigger guys don't want to do it, and they certainly don't want to work for that little money because we can't hold that many people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They might go like, hey, if you hold 300, we only want you to have 150 in there a night, you know?
Right.
So something like that. So we might have to, you know, then there might be like a guy like me that's going to go, okay, well, I'll do it. I'll do the 150 money.
Right.
So it'll be interesting, man. It'll be an extremely like historic thing that no one's ever gone through before. And as stand-up comics, it'll certainly be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we pray for the best and just keep doing what we know to do.
So before we go, one more thing I want to get into with you, because I know you are also an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling the people before I called you up, your IMDb is on fire, bro. Your resume is off the hook. So you've obviously, you know, you've had a great career as an actor. And so what do you think's going to go on with that, man? Like when are productions going to start? Because I mean, that's different than a live audience. You can do...
Here's the thing, bro.
Yeah.
No one knows anything.
Yes.
That's what I walk around with every day. Is we can have a million Zoom conference calls and you know,
the NFL draft
and plans and all kinds of shit, right? At the end of the day, if we open up the states and lift the restrictions and the quarantine, and motherfuckers start getting sick in droves,
yes.
Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back in this motherfucker for another, probably longer.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if, you know, this is all about, never mind. I was about to go into my conspiracy shit, but I'm going to keep it.
You can if you want to, man. I love hearing that shit.
I keep that shit low.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. I mean, I went off on one of my little conspiracy rants when I recently did Joey Diaz's podcast. And
you can do it there.
I did one little one and I got some heat already. People are like, "What are you talking about, bro?" I'm like, "Hey, man, it's just a little conspiracy of my own. Are we not allowed to like think anymore?" You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
The thing about conspiracy theorists is like they have like a million conspiracy theories, but the thing about them is that they certainly do a lot of research because they're so like into everything. They look it all up. They probably do more research than sane people. You know what I mean? Or people, they probably do more research than news people. So they do give you facts. It's just you can't jump to every conclusion that they do. You got to like take the facts and you go to your own conclusion, you know? It's like just have your own thought, you know?
Yeah.
But you're smart. You're keeping that to yourself.
Got to do it. Got to do it.
But as an actor, I mean, you can do a lot, I think a lot more from home. Like if you wanted to do like a sketch or something, you can do it in your house, maybe with a very small group of comics that you know or other actors that you know.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's ways to do single camera projects, film, you know what I mean? There's ways to do shit that is a little more scaled down. But what I'm not going to do is keep doing Zoom production. I'm just not going to do it.
Uh-huh. You're not going to do it, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do a Zoom show. I don't want to do it. Like I said, I'm just doing those once a week little 3-minute videos of, hey guys, here's my idea for a new premise. Let me run it by you. And that's it, you know? And I'm not performing it. I'm not going live with it. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there. It's kind of like a release. And I think it's fun for people that follow me to just go and look at the idea, see a joke, how it gets made, and then maybe one day they come see me live and they'll see how it actually turned out, the finished product.
Yeah.
And that's somewhat filling my void of, hey, I have an idea popped in my head for a new premise, and I'm not able to jump in my car and go drive somewhere and try it out. It's sort of filling that void of me just saying it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would even do open mics before, and I would just be like, people go like, well, why do you do open mics? Like those guys, they never listen. And sometimes I wasn't doing them to get their feedback, like other comics' feedback. I was just doing it to hear myself say it out loud. Because I can gauge if it's going to be anything by that. So it kind of helps just to turn the camera on.
And other comics are miserable, so that's never a good gauge.
Yeah.
Unless it's your friends and you guys write together or tag each other's jokes, then yeah, it's more of a camaraderie then.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. But anyway, man, thanks for volunteering your time to call in today.
No, it's all good, bro. You know, family.
I appreciate it, dude. You've always been cool, and I'm super happy for you that you got to record that special, and I can't wait to see it out somewhere on some platform.
Yeah, I'll let you know, man.
Please do.
It's going to be very well. I'll see what kind of deal I get. If I can't get a deal, I have the options of self-distributing. So
okay. And where should people, like, obviously you're gonna blast it out when you do know on your Instagram and Twitter or your website. Where should people follow you for your tour dates that will eventually come?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook, Twitter also at Afion Crockett, Affion Crockett.
Perfect. All right, you guys. Thanks so much, dude, for calling in. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you need anything, man. I know you're the area that you're in. It's not too far from me, and sometimes I drive through there. If you can't, let me know if you need anything, bro. I mean, you're a young, able-bodied man, healthier than I am, but but dude, sometimes you can't find your certain products at the store these days. If you need something, let me know. I'll keep an eye out, and if I see it, I'll grab it for you.
Yeah, if you got any Clorox wipes, let me know.
Clorox wipes? Man,
yep.
they're tough to come by, but I'll let you know.
I know the elderly community, they buy them up at that first hour in the day.
Yeah.
Whether that's a senior citizen shop, I think they go and take up all the wipes.
You know what I've been doing, man, is, I have found sanitizer. I have had luck with sanitizer. I don't know if you have.
No, not sanitizer, but I do have a good amount of rubbing alcohol because I'm a barber too. So I've
really?
already had that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
If anybody else's hair anymore, I cut my own. But yeah, it's always good to have. Disinfectant alcohol.
I got, I've noticed that a lot of liquor, like your local liquor stores, are carrying like hand sanitizer and stuff. And I think a lot of them are making it out of like the alcohol.
Out of liquor. Oh, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And dude, I've been getting a couple of bottles of sanitizer, and what I do is like when they're almost done, I just like put some water in there and I like shake it up, and then I pour that onto like a paper towel and kind of wipe down the doorknobs and stuff like that. But I'll keep an eye out for some Clorox wipes for you.
Yeah, let me know.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
Later.
Super dope of Afion Crockett to call in. I love that dude. He's always been nothing but chill, nothing but cool with me, and I'm super proud to have him as a friend and proud of him to have his special recorded and get that going. And he's had an amazing career. I mean, if you guys go look him up, Afion Crockett, you'll see tons of movies and like shows that he's been in, Wild and Out, and all this stuff, and just a really good dude. I've had the privilege of working with him and knowing him kind of early on, of both of us getting into stand-up. Just a good dude, and eventually this will come back. We talked a little bit about it. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, if there's going to be limitations that comedy clubs are going to do. I know that comedy clubs definitely want to go back to work right away because, a lot of these guys, they get, you can't keep paying your rent with no income. I know you guys know, about your rent, but like imagine these businesses. I'm worried about some of these comedy clubs not ever opening their doors again. Like how long could you go paying your lease, your rent on the building, or mortgage on it, and you can't, open the doors. And then if it's too long, like some of the wait staff is going to have to go get a job somewhere else, and then, then they're going to have to like rehire and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I just, whenever it does come back, I don't know if there's going to be restrictions. We're only going to have this many people in a crowd. Listen, you guys, let me tell you something about a comedian. A comedian's pet peeve. One of our pet peeves is when we go to perform at a comedy club and they sat the audience apart from each other. Like if you, and I don't know, I'll explain what I mean, okay? So like I used to get mad at some comedy clubs or management or something, or the staff. It's like you got to train your staff when they're seating the public for the comedy show. You got to train them how to seat them. There's a way to seat them. You got to seat them in the front first, and then you open up section by section, and then you put them all together. And it's like the worst when you go to a club that doesn't know that, and they just let the people sit wherever they want. So you got like, especially obviously when it's not sold out, you got a group in the back. Most people want to sit in the back away from the stage, and then because they're afraid they're going to get picked on. Then you got one group way over here, another group way over here. As a performer, it's so hard to perform to that, like, an empty room with, and there's some people in the back. You need a good atmosphere, you need a good ambiance, and it's always best. I mean, laughter's contagious. It's always best to have everybody really close together. Not to mention when they sat, one group way on the left, one group way on the right. I mean, guys, I've done shows where it hasn't been sold out. Oh, we only sold 21 tickets to this show. Like, shit. So, you got 10 people on one side, you got another 5 over here, another 4 over there, you know what I mean? Just scattered throughout the room. And then you got to, you're standing in the middle of a stage, and you have to keep leaning left and then leaning right. And then if you look to the right, the people on your left are gonna be kind of looking at your back. And you don't want to do that. You want to perform to a whole crowd. That was the worst. But now, comics are just going to have to deal with it. And you know what? We've dealt with it all those years of people not knowing how to seat rooms or having slow shows or low crowds. And now I'll do whatever. I'm begging to go back. To perform. Like Afe said, I don't know about tomorrow. If someone offered me tomorrow and said hey, can you come perform? I don't know, guys. I honestly think I might do it. If someone said, hey, tomorrow we're going to do a secret comedy show, underground comedy show, I might do it, you guys. I might just be I don't know, are we allowed to wear a mask, or is the audience going to wear a mask? How far apart are you going to seat them? How many people? I don't know, you guys. I might do it. I mean, not that anybody's offering it right now, not that it's even happening. It's just a good question. Would I? And I think I would. It's interesting. But anyway, maybe that's a discussion for another day, the next guest that we're going to have on. I got some great guests lined up. And thank you guys for giving us a try here at the Homeschooled Podcast. Or if you're returning, thank you so much for your loyalty all these years. We love having you. We love you guys. I want to give a big shout out to my guest, Afion Crockett, for calling in today and volunteering his time. I want to give a big shout out to my co-host, Kevin Lyons, who's always here in spirit and edits all these. And I want to give a shout out to all of you guys who are listening. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. And the best way to support us is by going to homeschoolpod.com and picking up some merch, like a t-shirt or something, sticker. Every little bit helps. And you can also click on over at sponsors and see all the sponsors that sponsor us, so you can support that way. But the best is just giving us, buying a t-shirt or something. Also, this episode is brought to you by Masterclass. The link will be in the description. It's also brought to you by DIY Paint. So you can have the paint by numbers at home. You can do it at home. It's a great time passer while you're stuck at home right now. DIY Paint. Click the link in the description. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.